how do you protect your songs from being ripped off while submitting to music libraries and having them openly on your website? Can a library steal your song without offering you a contract? The answer is yes. With the internet and with digital technology, anybody can pretty much steal anything. It's just a fact of life that we live in right now. Okay. What I've said is that unless you are a major artist or producer, or you have a huge following, or you have lots of visitors for whatever reason coming to your website, the chances of somebody coming to your website and stealing your music and putting it somewhere else are very, very low if you're not really actively marketing your website to the public, right? Now, if you're doing sync licensing, you're probably not trying to bump up your SEO, trying to throw your stuff all over the place. Maybe you are. I don't know. There might be a different strategy that you have. But for my career and what I've done, nobody knows about my personal music website unless other than a music library that I'm pitching to. Like that's literally, I created an entire website many times for one person to listen to. In fact, when we had when we were partnering with one of our first libraries in the syndicate, I created an entire website based on the music that we already had gathered and sort of a demo website showing off what we could do and a full album ready to go. And I created it just for one company that we ended up partnering with, and they accepted us within a couple of hours, actually that day, the next day, I think. So that's it. And then once they're accepting with us and they're working with us, cool. I took the website off. Like, what do I need another web? I don't need the website up there. I certainly don't need our music out there anymore. Like the website served its purpose. The website for me is just a suit and tie, helping me present myself to a company I want to partner with. And once I partner with them, I can close shop or take off your music that you had on there because obviously it's been accepted. So it's always a risk, right? You're online, your music's out there. It is definitely a risk. In terms of music libraries stealing your music, yep, that can happen. How often does it happen? I've just personally never heard of it ever. Okay. So one thing you got to remember too is that even though if you're not working with libraries, you probably perceive the world of music libraries as just all these kind of people you don't know and this whole world that you're not a part of yet. So it seems a little scary, right? But once you're working in the sync licensing business with libraries, you'll find out very quickly that it's a pretty small industry. Everybody kind of knows everybody. Word gets around. Reputations are very, very important here. So if any library were to be going around and doing this and stealing music, you better believe that their reputation would go down the tubes so fast. They would be out of business so quickly. All of their producers and songwriters would probably hear about it very quickly. So it's just not worth the risk for a library to do that kind of a thing. So I would say everything's a risk, right? We wake up and get out of bed, you can get hit by a bus. Like, life is a risk, but this is one of those risks where if you're doing this properly and you're just creating a website that's pitched to a library, your chances are less than 0.0001% of somebody going around and doing something like that. Okay. Yeah. If you're broadcasting your website on social media and you're putting it out there more and more and more, you increase your chances of something like that happening. But I would say if you're just pitching to libraries, it's not something to really worry about too much.